Vishwabadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pastachade Shatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Nama Hare Nama Hare Nama Eva Kevalam Kalo Nasteva 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 Gatiranyada. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Tayo Gaura Premanandi.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajajhana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajhana Ranjana Yamuna Thira Vanachari Yamuna Thira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajajhana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajhana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari 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 Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupad Paramhansa Privajikachaja Stotra Satasishimadas Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shira Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramhansa Privajikachaja Stotra Satasishimadas Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavindi Ki Namacharya Brahmacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki ISKCON founder Charge Shri Prabhupada ki Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Shri Mayapur Dham ki Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki Shri Navadvip Dham ki Ganga Mai ki, Jamuna Mai ki, Tulsi Devi ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki, Samaveta Bhaktavinda ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. God Shri Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Sumati Swami Namaste Sri Gaurikara Shakti Narayana Namaskritya Narunchevam Narutamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat Nashta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatu Tamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hare Krishna. So this evening's lecture is entitled Happiness Without Peace. So it's like a question. Happiness without peace. And when we read the text that is connected with this, we'll see how it ends. As Sri Krishna describes it so wonderfully. It's actually Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 66. So if you have a cell phone, you can access it. Or if some books can be passed around too, that would be nice. Chapter 2, text 66. If you need a book, then maybe you can raise your hand, or everybody can access Bhagavad Gita by technology. Chapter 2 is entitled Contents of the Gita Summarized. And okay. Waiting for you guys to get settled too. Okay. 266, text 66. So please repeat after me. Nasti buddhir ayutasya na chayuktasya bhavana na chabhavayata shanti ashantasya kuta sukam nasti buddhi ayuktasya nasti buddhi ayuktasya nacha yuktasya bhavana nacha yuktasya bhavana Nacha bhavayata shanti. Nacha bhavayata shanti. Asantasya kuta sukam. Asantasya kuta sukam. Nasti buddhi ayuktasya. Nacha yuktasya bhavana. Nacha bhavayata shanti. Asantasya kuta sukam. Nasti buddhi ayuktasya. Nacha yuktasya bhavana. Nacha bhavayata shanti. Asantasya kuta sukam. Please chant, anyone who feels inclined. Please. On the men's side first. Nasti buddhi na yuktasya. Nacha yuktasya bhavana. Nacha bhavayata santi. Asantasya kuta sukam. Dimitri. Nasti buddhi ayuktasya. Nacha yuktasya bhavana. Nacha bhavayata santi. Asantasya yutasukam. Anyone else? Nasti buddhi ayuktasya. Nacha yutasya bhavana. Nacha bhavayata santi. Atantasya kutasukam. Ladies. Nasti buddhi ayuktasya. Nacha yutasya bhavana. Nacha bhavayata santi. Asantasya yutasukam. Nasti buddhi ayuktasya. Nacha yutasya bhavana. Akta vipayata santi. Asantasya kutasukam. Anyone else? Nasti buddhira yuktasya. Nacha yutasya bhavana. Nacha bhavayatan santi. Asantasya kutasukam. So we'll do the word for word. Please repeat after me. Na asti. There cannot be. Buddhi. Transcendental intelligence. Ayuktasya. Of one who is not connected with Krishna consciousness. Na, neither. Cha, and. Ayuktasya. Of one devoid of Krishna consciousness. Bhavana. Mind fixed in happiness. Na, neither. Cha, and. Abhavayata. One who is not fixed. Shanti, peace. Ashantasya, of the non-peaceful. Kuta, where is. Sukham, happiness. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who is not in transcendental consciousness can have neither a controlled mind nor steady intelligence, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? Please repeat. One who is not in transcendental consciousness can have neither a controlled mind nor steady intelligence, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Unless one is in Krishna consciousness, there is no possibility of peace. So it is confirmed in the 5th chapter, text 29, this is in the Bhagavad Gita, that one who understands that Krishna is the only enjoyer of all the good results of sacrifice and penance, and that he is the proprietor of all universal manifestations, that he is the real friend of all living entities, then only can one have real peace. Therefore, if one is not in Krishna consciousness, there cannot be any final goal for the mind. Disturbance is due to want of an ultimate goal. And when one is certain that Krishna is the enjoyer, proprietor, and friend of everyone and everything, then one can, with a steady mind, bring about peace. Therefore, one who is engaged without a relationship with Krishna is certainly always in distress and without peace. However, one may make a show of peace and spiritual advancement in life. Krishna consciousness is a self-manifested peaceful condition which can be achieved only in relationship with Krishna. Om Gyanati Virandasya Gyana Gyana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Tapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Peshtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirveshesha Sunyavari Paschathyadi Shatarini. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Siva Shari Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So one who is not in transcendental consciousness can have neither a controlled mind nor steady intelligence, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? So Sri Krishna is explaining to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita for our benefit. Krishna consciousness is transcendental consciousness. And Sri Krishna says that one who is not in transcendental consciousness, that means one who is not conscious of Krishna and acting to serve Krishna, cannot have a controlled mind nor steady intelligence. Two very important things in the subtle body of man. We have a physical body, and then we also have a subtle body. The subtle body is composed of the mind, the intelligence, and the sense of identity or the ego. So, Srila Prabhupada is translating here Krishna saying that the mind can be controlled, or sometimes the mind also goes haywire. And a lot of people in this material world now have minds that are haywire, but they don't even realize it. They just call it the typical American word, crazy. But actually, Sri Krishna is explaining why craziness is so prevalent. People's minds are not controlled. The mind cannot be allowed to go anywhere it wants to go in terms of how we relate to things in our life. The mind usually or normally is looking at accepting some things and rejecting other things. I like this, I don't like this. We all know it in our lives. That does not mean that we're not devotees because our mind likes this and doesn't like that. That's just the way the mind is. But a controlled mind picks what they want and what they don't want based on being in the first priority, transcendental consciousness, Krishna consciousness. We have a material body, therefore we have to take care of it. That is even required. The Shastra does tell us. Sri Prabhupada even says we have to live for as long a life as we can possibly live. He actually says we should do that. But live a life involved in Krishna consciousness too. So one who is not in Krishna consciousness performing bhakti yoga cannot have a controlled mind because it's in bhakti yoga that we are taught how to have a controlled mind. That's where it is. And steady intelligence. The intelligence is what tells the mind. And of course, there's a material definition of intelligence. As we know, school, when you go, how much we're able to remember and analyze things, or how much we're able to understand things, we call that intelligence also. Spiritually, the intelligence is what does the deciphering of the things the mind likes and doesn't like. In other words, the mind says, I like this, I don't like this, or I'm going to do this, I will not do this other thing. The intelligence kicks in and says, but which of these choices you're making is good for you? That's the way intelligence is defined. Intelligence basically guides the mind to do the right thing. So where does intelligence come from? Well, it's connected with the soul. And the super soul guides the soul that has turned their attention to Krishna consciousness. There are souls who are doing whatever they want to do. And the super soul is there in the heart, supervises what happens, and also permits what the individual does. So if the individual is going to do something wrong, the first question is, how come the super soul allows the person to do something that's wrong? Well, in the material world here, we have free choice. And Krishna does not interfere with anybody's free choice. Therefore, if somebody wants to do something that they know is bad, they will not be stopped from doing it, but they will be warned mentally that there is a price that you may pay. The example is given: a person wants to steal. Immediately, the intelligence kicks in and says, but that's not good for you. You're risking getting caught. Sometimes the person may overrule that and decide, I'm going to steal anyway. And worse, sometimes the person sees someone else who's stolen and been arrested by the cops. And they go, well, it's not going to happen to me when I do it. So they try to do it anyway. As soon as we embark on something or doing something that's wrong, we have opened ourselves to punishment. And that punishment may occur here while in this lifetime or may occur later. But there is no question of sinful reaction not being put on us. That will definitely come. Either it will come from the police here or it will come from Yamaraj later. But it will definitely come. We cannot hide anything that we do. Therefore, we have to be, at the very least, in the mode of goodness. Do things that are good. But higher than that is transcendental consciousness, and we didn't really know what transcendental consciousness was. It's by the mercy of a spiritual master and the mercy of Lord Chaitanya that we do anything transcendental. We were taught to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hari Rama, Hari Ram, Ram Ram, Hari Hari. That is transcendental activity. We may be using our mouths, our tongues, to chant, but the mantra itself is spiritual. And the mantra is Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Srimati Radharani, Krishna, the Supreme Lord Krishna, and Rama. Mm? And Krishna is transcendental. The internal energy of the Lord is also spiritual, transcendental, and Lord Ram is transcendental. Therefore, that activity is transcendental activity. So if we chant, then we are in fact in transcendental consciousness as part of Bhakti Yoga. Mm? Hearing transcendental material is also part of being in transcendental consciousness because we can hear other things. There's so many other non-transcendental information literature out there. Mm? Every day, the press is putting it out. YouTube is putting it out. And you name it. So many other places that we can go online and get things that are not transcendental. But we have to filter out using the intelligence what is best for us. Mm? We are in Kali Yuga now. Therefore, so many things, as is said in the Shastra, things are getting worse. And they will continue to get worse for the next 427,000 years. That's how much Kali Yuga is left, the period that's left. It's a total of 432,000 years, and we've done 5,000. So we're just really at the beginning of Kali Yuga, 5,000 years. And already things are the way they are. Mm? Culture, good culture is being compromised very badly. And we just saw things happen, things happen. And on this earth, yes, the demons are allowed to put their agenda out for a period of time to see who, Krishna looks at who will go by the demonic agenda or who will turn to Krishna. And that choice is made by every individual. The person that turns to Krishna is going to go back home. His Holiness Radha Govinda Maharaj explained in one lecture that if you say yes to Krishna, you are going back to Godhead. That's for sure. If you say yes to Krishna, if you have faith in Krishna, you will go home. The only thing is when you go. It may be this lifetime, it may be this lifetime, the lifetime after this one, or maybe the one after that one, mm, 2 or 3 lifetimes. But for every lifetime, if the person doesn't make it back to the spiritual world, then Krishna would arrange first, this is a devotee now, to be born in a human body, not animals, not birds, not trees, not insects, not fish. Those are for those in the mode of ignorance. So if that doesn't happen, the person will in fact be born in a human body and put in a situation that can help to improve their Krishna consciousness the next time around, to improve it. Mm. If there was a situation in the life, the current life, the person didn't make it because there was so much struggle for money, so much time was put into it, because of the karma that they're carrying for this particular life, and therefore the lack of money actually impeded the person's chance to grow in Krishna consciousness. Chances are very high the next life they will be born into a family of wealth, so that the money doesn't become an issue anymore. And that's the one thing. And then the person is also, Krishna would arrange for them to run into devotees in that lifetime. Mhm. It is also possible, if money was not an issue and other things were, that kept the person from being able to go back to Godhead this lifetime. In the next life, Krishna would arrange for that person to be born to devotees who are fixed up. Parents and devotees, fixed up. Right from the get go, they are in a devotee family. So as a baby, everything they do is now based on Krishna consciousness, and they will grow that way. In other words, they'll grow in a household that Krishna consciousness is being practiced. So therefore, they just get used to it. It's just the life. So automatically they're in Krishna consciousness, and then when they grow up, they realize it was actually the best thing for them to be in Krishna consciousness. So that's all arranged by the mercy and the love of Sri Krishna, so that his expansions, like the Paramatma, we are fortunate if we know Krishna consciousness. We're fortunate that the Paramatma even goes with us everywhere that we go in the material world. Everywhere that we go, the Super Soul is with us. We are the ones that basically, in many ways, abandoned Krishna. So, did the Super Soul really have to come with us? No, no. But it is His mercy that He loves us more than we love ourselves and love Him. If we love ourselves, we would actually do things that is better for us, and we won't be here. We'll be in the spiritual world. So, okay, we'll just take it that we made mistakes. And now the transcendental literature is also made available for us. Krishna himself speaking this. And he says, one who is not in transcendental consciousness, who is looking at it from the negative side, cannot have a controlled mind or steady intelligence, without which there's no possibility of peace. And people do want peace. United Nations was put together because we want nations to be able to communicate on whatever situations that are disturbing so that they can solve it verbally rather than go to war. But look what has happened. There's United Nations and people are still going to war. So this is what Prabhupada described. At the time he talked about it because he was here in the 60s, 1960s, 1970s. And he said this. So I'll preface it first and then come to the statement about the United Nations. He was going to give a lecture, and devotees from around the world had traveled to India. He was there at that time. And he said, it is very nice that devotees from all around the world have come. Devotees from Europe, when he named some nations, England, France, Germany, and then he didn't say Italy, he said Rome. So I'm actually saying exactly how he said it. And from America, Chicago, New York, San Francisco, from Canada, Ottawa. They just named like that, Africa, Nairobi, South Africa. This is real United Nations. This is how he ended it. United Nations. Because devotees from all around the world have come to hear about Krishna. Then they said, the United Nations has been formed. And the United Nations for the last 30 years, and this is the 70s, now the United Nations formed in the 40s. So the last 30 years, they haven't been able to achieve their aim. And neither will they be able to achieve their aim. And we see now the wars are still going on. Those people who are fighting, they are all members of the United Nations, and still they are fighting. The reason he gave is very much connected with this. It says, you cannot, or the nations cannot unite based on the body consciousness. It is not possible. It is not possible to unite based on the body. That is materially. It's not possible. And in fact, one nation, South Africa especially, there was one situation involving my Guru Maharaj. His name is Bhaktivedanta Maharaj. He was just like a sannyasi visiting different parts of the world, and he went to South Africa, and he would meet with government officials, chiefs, and so on. He would meet with devotees, but he will also have programs where those people also come so that he can begin to talk to them about Krishna consciousness, slowly changing their minds into bhakti. So there was this chief, South African, black South African, chief that was talking to him, an older guy, and he had come to the temple. I think it was Durban temple, ISKCON temple. And Bhaktivedanta Maharaj was having a one-on-one conversation with them. And this chief was in the temple. There were devotees there. There were devotees that were Africans, white-bodied. There were devotees that were Indian-bodied. There were devotees that were black-bodied, black indigenous African. And he was looking at them and only half listening to my Guru Maharaj. He was actually listening fully to what my Guru Maharaj was telling him. And then he interrupted the conversation in the middle and said, He called my guru. He said, "Young man," because he was much older than Bhakti Maharaj. The young man, I understand what you're saying, but actually, there's something that I'm seeing here that I'm almost in tears about. The very thing that we want in South Africa, for all the races to cooperate together, and you are already doing it. You are already doing it. Now, how is it that black South Africans, Indian South Africans, white South Africans who cooperate like that? Because they understand we are not the body. We are the soul. Therefore, everybody has the same soul quality in them. This has been made clear to devotees. And therefore, they relate at the soul level, at the level of the soul. And that's why Srila Prabhupada says, United Nations relating at the body level, it would never work. It hasn't worked, and it won't. Hmm? So, transcendental consciousness is the type of consciousness that gives peace. And then with peace, there'll be happiness. A peaceful person is definitely happy. So it all depends on where our minds are. Hmm? The mind, it said in the Shastra, can be the greatest friend or the greatest enemy. So sometimes our mind can be very helpful to us, and sometimes it will be going against us. When it goes against us, we call it temptation. We do different things that we know, the intelligence kicks in and says, no, and we still do. Mm. So when is the mind our friend? That relates to the topic here in this text. The mind is our friend when our activities are related to serving Krishna and serving Krishna's devotees either directly or indirectly. The mind is our friend when our activities, our bhakti activities, serving Krishna and Krishna's devotees, either directly or indirectly. Mm. And that results from doing that is eternal happiness. When we serve like that, we will in fact be eternally happy. Then you say, oh, but we don't live eternally. The body dies. Yeah, the body dies, true enough. But we'll be happy now in this body, and we'll be happy when we get out of the body. We still will be happy. Therefore, that happiness will be eternal. When our activities for serving Krishna and Krishna's devotees are taken as priority. Now, when does the mind become our greatest enemy? The mind becomes greatest enemy when we put our enjoyment first and neglect serving the Lord and the Lord's devotees. That's when the mind becomes our greatest enemy. The mind will say, do something to enjoy your senses and don't pay attention to Krishna consciousness. And if we accept that, then the mind is the greatest enemy then. What's the result? Well, Krishna has put the material energy together in such a way that if we think that way, that we want to enjoy our senses first, then we get entangled with the material energy. There'll be all kinds of complications, and the complications will lead to suffering. We want to enjoy our senses. You see that not everything that we try to do to enjoy our senses will work out. So then we begin to lament. Why have I tried this and it didn't come properly the way I wanted? It's all about me. Then I become the center. And activities have to be for me first. I have to take care of myself first. Actually, when we take care of serving, the service to Krishna first, Krishna takes care of all of the material things. The ones that we really need, it will all be fulfilled. That's how it works. That's how it works. Just a question of trying it. When we put Krishna consciousness first, our activities in Krishna consciousness first, Krishna deals with the material things. Why? Because everything comes from Krishna, both material and spiritual. There's nothing he can't do. So if you put him first, then he takes care of the situation. So if we don't do it, then we get entangled. Situations, complicated situations come in, we lament, and then we try to get other things, and we don't get it. So we begin to hanker for things. Hanker for it. I wish I had this. I wish I had this. I wish I had. And as soon as we begin to hanker, the next thing that follows is envy. Someone else has it and I don't have it. And therefore, I envy that person that has and I don't have. Mm? So the mind becomes the greatest enemy then at that point. Nothing else is bothering us as much as the mind itself is. And there are things that bother us. That's just the nature of the world. Mm? The weather sometimes gives us hell. Other living entities sometimes give us hell. Sometimes deliberately give us hell. And other times not deliberately. Mm? The poor mosquito is trying to live, but it gives us disease just trying to live. That's the nature of this world. Mm? So, as Srila Prabhupada quoted, mm, Bhoktaram yagya tapasa sarvaloka maheswaram suhidam sarvabhutanam yatpamam shantim vischati. So that is Bhagavad Gita, the very last text of chapter 5. Srila Prabhupada didn't actually quote the Sanskrit, but he said the things that we've talked about. One who understands that Krishna is the benefactor or the enjoyer of all sacrifices and penances, and is willing to live life that way, such that the sacrifice and penances are all given to Krishna to enjoy. One who understands that all of creation, material and spiritual, are from Krishna, and especially that Krishna is the leader of all the other gods, demigods. And also understands the third point that Krishna is the well-wisher, well-wishing friend from everybody. So the one who understands that Krishna actually is the enjoyer of all sacrifices and penances, that everything in creation is his, material and spiritual, and that he's actually the well-wishing friend for everybody, that person is the one that attains peace and gets away from the hankering, the material pangs, problems that material causes. So Krishna is the enjoyer of all sacrifices and penances. What to do? What should we do with that understanding? We should start our day with Krishna. This is the first thing to do. Start our day with Krishna. Dedicate the day to Krishna through prayer. Very simple prayer. So when we get up, we say the mantra for the representative of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada's mantra. When we get up. And before too long, you dedicate the day. Dedicate the day to Krishna, meaning you say a short prayer in your own words. In your own words. Let this day be controlled by you, whatever happens. That's just simple dedication to Krishna. Every prayer is heard. So if you really mean it, say it from your heart, it will, in fact, the whole day will be like that. Chant Hare Krishna mantra. Best to chant Hare Krishna mantra in the morning. Even though it's said by Lord Chaitanya, he's not stopping anyone from chanting any time during the day. There are no hard and fast rules. He says that in his Shastaka. But if you put Krishna first, he puts you first. He also says that. Ye yatamam papajante tam sateva bhajamyaham. The extent to which you surrender, he rewards accordingly. So if you put him first, then he deals with your situation first. And if you don't put him first, then things happen after we get banged around a little bit. Then some things may happen. So chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Now, in order to remember Krishna and practice Krishna consciousness, there are so many ways in which the preachers here, the devotees that preach, the sannyasis, the other big Shiksha gurus and other senior devotees and all, they'll give so much information about Krishna. Listen to those. Listen to lectures. Make time to listen to lectures. And then you can also listen to Hare Krishna bhajans and kirtan recordings. Listen to those. As soon as you listen to that, then calming music takes a back seat. listen to Krishna conscious music, then the Kami music takes a back seat. We like music. Everybody does. Therefore, if we and listen to the kind of Krishna conscious music arrangement that you like. Who says you have to listen to something that the arrangement doesn't hit you so well? Okay, it's about it. No. Listen to one that you like. Because it will still be Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The words will be the same. And it's transcendental. Mm. So listen to Hare Krishna bhajans, the slow ones, or kirtans, the faster ones. And better yet, you don't have to be an expert singer, but this is yourself. Sing along with it. Sing along with it because it makes you remember Krishna. As you hear in Krishna Nitai Gaura Chandra Ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. So you dedicate the day through prayer, chant Hare Krishna mantra, listen to lectures, and listen to the music about Krishna. Sing along with it. Now, as Grihastas, it is in fact part of our duty, among other things, to give donations. It is in Shastra written as charity. That is a Grihasta's duty. So donate to the temple. Better, donate it on a regular basis because the bills also come on a regular basis every time. Water bill, electrical bill, gas bill, they all come. And this building is an embassy for Krishna. Here is only Krishna consciousness activities that take place. Mm. The Lord is here in his most munificent form. Shri Shinitai Gaurachandra. Shri Shinitai Gaurachandra ki. Yeah. They are here by their mercy. And so we have to keep the embassy here in good standing all of the time. So donate to the temple regularly. Mm. Now, Krishna is very happy when we serve his devotees, even more so than serving him. He said that himself. Mat bhakta puja abhyadikam. When you do puja to my devotee, I'm more satisfied than even doing puja to me. Everybody knows Krishna consciousness. We are going to do some before Krishna. That's just without. Therefore, he says, serve my devotees. Serve my devotees. When we serve Krishna, he appreciates it, but he doesn't really need our help for anything. He owns everything. Mm. But if we serve Krishna's devotees have needs. They definitely need. Krishna himself doesn't need anything. And so when we serve Krishna's devotees, then he is happy that we've served them because the other thing that happens is from the service to the devotees, it automatically gives us good relationships with the devotees that we serve. Anybody that you serve is definitely going to like you. They're not going to hate you from serving, needless to say. So when we serve, that makes a bond be established, and it is a lifelong bond. It even goes to the extent that sometimes if we do something that is negative, the person that we've served mentally will give us a break. Oh, I know this person is like that. Rather than say, oh, he's a bad person, they're going to say, well, why did this other thing happen? Why did this other thing happen? They will not immediately write you off because you served them in a positive way before. So that will help us to really solidify good relationships among us. So we should be ready to serve devotees. And it is from serving devotees that we get the good consciousness or mindset for serving the spiritual master. It's actually beginning from serving devotees. We serve devotees, we develop love for devotees through service. And then from love for devotees, we will in fact begin to have a connection of love with Guru. When they say Guru, all Gurus. We will have that. Right now, many of us, when we see Guru, we have reverence, which is good. It's a good start. But to actually care for them, that's another level. And it comes from loving and caring for devotees, serving them. And from serving Guru and developing good connection with Guru, we will in fact jumpstart our dormant consciousness of loving Krishna. Right now, many of us are at the awe and reverence. We are reverential because we know we have some idea who Krishna is. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We say some idea because there's so many things about Krishna. Krishna is unlimited in qualities. So we won't know everything. So we know some things. As Sri Papa says, this much we should know. Krishna Stu Bhagavan Swayam. He is the Supreme Controller. Mm. He is the Supreme Lord. So, through serving devotees, then serving Guru, then Krishna as the deity, so in that order. Mm. So, devotees that come, and when we get to associate with them, most of the time we will do during Kirtan, but in the Aarti time, and also during the time we're having Prashadam. Mm. Take advantage of not only conversing with devotees, but serve devotees. How do you serve them? Well, two things. When we're downstairs, we're having prasadam. Therefore, if we go to serve prasadam to devotees, that is service to devotees. That's one of them. You don't necessarily have to be the one behind the big pots and everything and then serving. That's nice to do. That's just service to everybody. But you can even serve other devotees. There are some devotees that literally come around and say, "Hi, Krishna Prabhu, can I get you something?" Yeah. And the subject was very nice. Can I have another like that, right? They go and get something and give to everybody. Service like that. It always makes sure that that activity really improves the relationship between us and other devotees. And it's that simple. There's no magic to it. Hmm? So, in our minds, again, to the mind, devotional service should be given top priority. And I literally shouted top, like think top TOP in big letters. It should be given top priority. Devotional service. Everywhere we are, even at home, devotional service will always be given the top priority. That means if we have other things to do and our mind says that this material thing has to be done, go get it done, do your devotional service activity. Don't postpone that and take the other one. I'll tell you a story. Chowpatty Temple in India. There are a lot of young Indian bodied devotees that were coming. And one of them was a student at IIT. And exams were coming. Mm. Vigorous studying people were doing. This devotee, initiated devotee, Radhanath Swami disciple. So Radhanath Swami himself said this story. Mm. So in the video, and I was listening. And so he was preparing, as everybody in the school was preparing vigorously for the exam. And it turned out that when the exam was over and the grades came, that particular devotee got the topmost grade for that exam. And people were shocked. His friends, his peers, were shocked. The Hare Krishna devotee got, all right. So there must be something about the temple then. He's a devotee and he got the top grade. So Radhanath Swami said, after the exam, the next Sunday program, all of these students that have never been to the temple before, they showed up. They showed up, and when devotees talked to them, the reason they came, and they all said they was from IIT, and this guy they know did the best, and he was a devotee here. So then devotees put two and two together. Oh, so this devotee got the topmost grade. Therefore, the other people from the university, some of them, want to find out whatever it is in the temple that made this devotee get such a good grade. They want to come and find out. Hmm? So they also came. Now, one thing that the devotee did, and the reason we're talking about this is no matter how much time he had to put in to prepare for the exam, he never stopped his sadhana. He was chanting his 16 rounds. He was doing exactly the services that he wanted to do. He never postponed those. He did those as priority first. Then he studied. And Krishna rewarded him. Mm? So devotional service should be given top priority. And now sometimes some difficulties come, material difficulties in service. Sometimes the weather give us some problems. Even if there are difficulties in service, we should serve anyway. In other words, find a way around it and serve. Mm? I'm telling you, Babi Chari, now back to you again, I say it. We have to serve. Krishna is saying that unfailing in all circumstances. Unfailing. Obviously, even the circumstances are favorable, service doesn't become so difficult to do. But when the circumstances are challenging, Krishna says we should serve anyway. Serve anyway. Hmm? So Krishna rewards those who surrender to him based on the extent of willingness to serve him, no matter what the situation. Now, when we do that, here are a few results. Clearly, we will be happy. Not happiness, not external, it's internal happiness. We will feel good about ourselves. We will also feel pretty relaxed, and we won't allow too many things to bother us. Mm? So, as based on what we talked about serving devotees, our love for devotees will also grow. Mm? And then we will really look forward to associating with devotees, which means we will look forward to coming to the temple. We will look forward to being in programs, other programs organized, even if it's outside. We will look forward to being around devotees. Love for devotees, love for Guru, and ultimately Krishna. That will come. Mm? And we will also begin to be very empathetic. We're very concerned for everyone. We begin to be like that. Now, one of the things we can do when we are in downstairs in Prashada time, mm, when we talk to devotees and talk about all kinds of things, devotees talk about all kinds of things. The way to assist devotees is to listen closely to what they're telling you. Listen to what they're telling you. Many of us would say some things that's happening to our families or some things that's happening to us directly. And sometimes, not that we want to, but we just reveal some challenges that we may be having just through the conversation. Make note of the challenges that you hear and see about what you can do to help with those challenges. Don't say anything. Just hear and then plan to do something to help with that particular challenge. That devotee that you help that way will very much appreciate that help. Mm? You can do that to non devotees also. Mm? So, everywhere, but especially devotees, because those are very much Krishna is favorable to them because they've turned the attention to Krishna. Devotees are like that. But this is something you can do everywhere. You have other conversations and no, okay, so this is needed, then you make a note of it, and without the person knowing, you plan and give it to them. Let's talk about one situation that involves me. So I have this guy. But my children, some of my children are here, so they know. One of them has met them, the other one hasn't. His name is Jeff, Jeff Bishop. He's my mechanic, and he's a very well trained mechanic. He works in the Toyota dealership. He's very well schooled too, so he works in Toyota cars and other cars too. So I asked his girlfriend. He's divorced. He's now being with a certain lady. She's a very nice lady who's a nurse. I asked her, "What's Jeff's birthday?" I never knew, so she told me, and I made banana cake. Banana bread, sorry, banana bread. And my girls, they know how to make cake, but I can do banana bread. So on that day, I gave it. It turned out that I needed some maintenance work on my car also. So I went there, and he didn't know, and then I just gave it to him. The next time that I went, the different vehicle, we have a bunch, couple of them that are Toyotas. The next time that I went to see him, he said, and he calls me by my, common name, Patrick. the banana bread was really very nice. I liked it. In fact, I was telling this other guy, other people that come to him to get the, I was telling this other guy about the bread that you made for me, and he said, "Oh, so you like banana? This guy made bread for you." Actually, my wife knows how to make banana bread too. So guess what happened? He had his wife make 2 loaves of banana bread for Jeff. So basically, just from one thing, so he was telling me how happy he was that that one banana bread generated more banana breads for me. He loves banana bread. Hmm? Now, I know that the banana bread was offered to Krishna. So what he's had is actually a Krishna Prasadam. He doesn't know that. Hmm? Now, of course, that cements our relationship. And now, even with the others that come to him, he's got a good relationship with them. It's extended to them. I didn't know. I just was giving him, you know. So what did I do next? I asked Jeff, what's his girlfriend's birthday? I know that too. So that when that time comes, then I'll make, again, probably banana bread or something else for his girlfriend. So it's all about serving, and you develop love that way. Now, if I start talking about Krishna, he will be ready to listen. He will be. He'll be ready to listen only because there's a good relationship that's there. So actually looking and helping that way, very good. Mm. Now, what should we avoid? The good part is here now, things we have to avoid. When we have assigned services in a temple, we should take those assigned services very seriously. I mean, assigned services means that we are being depended on to get that service done. And here, everything we do is bhakti. So we should take that very, very seriously. All assigned service. Now, we shouldn't be apathetic or indifferent towards devotees. Don't care about devotees. That's very bad. If we don't care about devotees, Srimati Radharani is not going to like us. Devotees are Srimati Radharani's special, literally, tribe, like that. Those who are turning the attention to Krishna, that is Krishna's devotees, they are very special in the eyes of Srimati Radharani. Mm. Therefore, the fact that we are here in the material world, we are really not perfect. We have some higher nature, good things, and lower nature, things that we need to work on. Never sit on this idea of how bad this other person is and spend so much time talking about it. That's called gossiping. Mm. We shouldn't be about gossiping. Mm. This person's like that, this person like that. So then we make a mantra of it. We already have Hare Krishna mantra. That's good enough. We don't add any more mantras to it. Negative type mantras at that. Mm. Also, don't blame. Don't blame. Again, those are things that makes a person unhappy. Unhappy. Now, the spiritual master may point out faults because the spiritual master's position is not like our position. Spiritual master is like a coach, and the rest of us are like team players. So the coach has to point out things that we need to work on. The spiritual masters would do that. So if you see spiritual master point out a fault of somebody, that doesn't mean, oh, he said it, therefore I also have a right to say that. No, you're a player, you're not a coach. That's what we have to remember. Mm? So also, one more thing to avoid taking from Krishna's temple without giving back to the temple. Sometimes we go through life here, come to the temple and so on, and some things are done and we have prasadam and so on, but it should also be at the back of our mind. Am I actually contributing to the temple? It costs money to get those things done. So then we should also, nobody's going to ask you anything, but you yourself should take it from, I'm taking from Krishna. That's called enjoying Krishna rather than serving Krishna. So you take, but you also give back. Mm. In whatever way, cash or kind, that's up to you. Mm. And finally, this is not something to avoid. This is something we should do. We should be willing to help in all situations. Now, a few things. So this is about Krishna being um, the enjoyer of all sacrifices and penances. Now, for Krishna, being the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, that's just something that we have to remember, that he is in that position. Nobody's in that position. Mm. So, what to do? Surrender to him is the best thing. Mm. And what to avoid? He said he is the supreme lord of all demigods. So, stop worshiping demigods for sense gratification. We want some things material, therefore we worship this demigod, and it's been done. I know it's in practice from years for people who are in different religions doing that. Hmm? We should, Krishna says that if we serve demigods, we actually hmm, serve him, but we do it in the wrong way. And Srila Prabhupada also says that men of less intelligence serve demigods. Krishna is the supreme controller. So if you go to him and you serve him, everything else is taken care of. Second point, whatever the demigods have, Krishna gave it to them. They don't really own anything. It's also from Krishna. So if you're in Krishna consciousness, then serve the Lord and the Lord's devotees rather than requesting for material things from demigods. Now, the only time you request for something from the demigods is something that is related to Krishna consciousness, like the gopis did. The gopis, they worship goddess Katyayani. Goddess Katyayani is a demigod, demigoddess. But they wanted Krishna as their husband. That was the reason they were going to the goddess. So they wanted a spiritual thing for them. Mm. So the results of doing that, understanding that Krishna is the supreme lord of all planets, is we get peace of mind. We get peace of mind, which gives us happiness. And the peace of mind will also come along with the knowledge that Krishna will protect us. Krishna protects his devotees. Mm? Prahlad Maharaj was protected by Lord Nrsimhadev, who came as half man, half lion, only because Lord Brahma had given Prahlad Maharaj's father, Nrsimhadev, some boons which were connected to his not being killed by different situations that he himself listed. He says, I don't want an animal to kill me, or a person, or daytime, nighttime. So all of these conditions, after he asked Lord Brahma for immortality, I don't want to die. He had so much control now over the demigods. He had defeated them, and he was controlling basically the whole universe. And he wanted that to go on forever. Forever. I didn't say it just to say forever. That's why he asked for immortality. He wanted to go on forever. Lord Brahma says, I myself am going to die. I can't give you something I don't have. Hmm? And so then, Hiranyakashipu started breaking down things. I don't want to be killed daytime, nighttime, not outside, not inside, not by a person, not a man, not by your creation. But because Prahlad Maharaj was abused by his father, and Prahlad Maharaj was a devotee, then Krishna came in a situation and in a form that satisfied all of the conditions. He killed Hiranyakashipu at a time that satisfied the conditions, at the place that satisfied the conditions, in a form that satisfied the conditions, all of that for his devotee. For his devotee. And in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Prahlad Maharaj himself said, Krishna will do that for anybody that turns their attention to Krishna. It's not just me. He said, it's not just me. Anyone. Krishna will do a certain way to protect his devotee all of the time. That would happen. Mm? So all activities will be controlled by the Lord for our welfare. Now, finally, Suhidam Sarvabhutanam, Krishna is a well-wishing friend for all living entities. So what should we do? Pray for help in developing love for Krishna. The fact is, we've left the spiritual world a long time. We don't really know how to love Krishna. Many of us are in the respect mode, reverential mode to Krishna, but how to actually have deep heart love for Krishna, we have to pray for help. And we also have to understand that we are fortunate to be cared for by the Lord, specially cared for by the Lord. What should we avoid doing? Avoid offending devotees. Avoid offending devotees. What is offense? Don't do anything to make a devotee uncomfortable or upset. That's all. Don't do anything to make a devotee uncomfortable or upset. Sometimes it means that we don't say anything. Other times, too, we find nicer words to express. Sometimes we go to someone else that would be able to speak on our behalf, that is senior. So all of that, different ways to do that. So stop offending devotees. And for that matter, non-devotees also. Then you become a nice person overall. And we stay away from people who blaspheme Krishna and his devotees. Stay away from them. Stay away from them. If they do it right in front of you, you have a right to excuse yourself and walk away from them. Don't stay with blasphemy. If you hear it and if you stay with it, then you are also implicated in the blasphemy. To stay away from it. So, in conclusion, is Kali Yuga. Those who are not devotees, it's said in the purport of Srila Prabhupada, those who are not devotees, they will go through a lot more suffering and not understand why. Mm? They may even try to act like they're okay, but they will still be suffering because they don't know that we should relate at the level of the soul. Mm? So the suffering will be taken very hard by them. So they will never be happy as long as they're looking for solutions to peace from material energy. Solutions to peace don't come from material energy, it comes from spiritual, it comes from service. We should keep thinking about Krishna. Manmana Baba Mat Bhakto, he said it. Think about me, become my devotee. Madhya Jimam Nanashkuru, offer obeisances and worship Krishna. Mm. Do not entertain any thought of leaving Krishna, no matter what happens in our lives. Don't even entertain the thought of Krishna. And for this, Srila Prabhupada says, in this particular society, ISKCON society, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, we are all different devotees, different backgrounds, different ways in which we were raised. And so sometimes we'll disagree. He says, never go away from this society. In this lecture that I heard, he said it twice. Never go away. So I'm quoting Srila Prabhupada directly. Never go away from the society. Never go away. Discrepancies there may be, we should adjust. This is direct quotation from Srila Prabhupada. Discrepancies would happen. We should adjust. Now, adjusting to discrepancies, that's a whole lecture in itself. Another time we can talk about that. Sometimes you have to avoid a person's company for a little while, but you never give that as a reason for leaving the society. Some people have done that. That's why we bring it up. Some people that I know that are actually related to have actually done that. Left the society. If you leave the society, this is Lord Chaitanya's society. You can't go back to Godhead because I'm going to do it on my own. But the Prabhupada wants all of us to be together. Mm. Finally, worship Krishna every day. Every day, whether you're here or you're home or wherever you are, you have to worship Krishna. And the easiest way to do it is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So now it's time for questions. So you got a microphone. Go ahead. The devotees want to ask a question. Devotees want to share some of their realizations. So, if we just raise your hand, you give you a microphone. So, anyone? Okay. So,
So I would just like to say some things.
sure.
You can correct me if I'm wrong. Of course, a very nice class.
Krishna's mercy
I
cruise
too
mercy.
remember the past time you told about when Radhanath Swami Maharaj was telling.
Oh, that IIT
Yeah,
situation.
yeah, yeah.
You
The
know about
IIT
it.
story. I
Okay.
know about it, and it's a very funny pastime actually.
Yeah, I know. He has a way of speaking that
Yeah.
we were just laughing. I don't know how to act like that. Not sorry, but
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I mean, like one point I liked in the class was regarding the United Nations,
mm,
how Prabhupada expressed it. It just says like so many flags, and we are adding more and more flags in the United Nations.
mm-hmm,
Uh, they were supposed to like unite together, but it's not happening. The reason it is happening in Krishna consciousness is because the fact that uh, the like Krishna explains that I am the source of everything.
mm-hmm,
With that being said, and it also extends beyond the human body, meaning like it may be plant body, animal body, or anything. Because I remember hearing this comment, or from like very close associate in my office. He said he came from a village background, so he was from a farming community, so he respected the cows and everything. But beyond that, he doesn't respect other animals, and he is like, okay, I can eat this meat, so I didn't reply to him at that point because I don't want to extend the debate, or do anything of that. But
mm,
the answer comes here that the father won't be very and he will also take care of the child which is not very up to the mark to the second child. Like
mm,
there might be two kids the father might be having, and one child may be very esteemed, he will be like very intelligent, and the other
mm-hmm.
child may not be that intelligent. But the father takes care of both the child in the same way. He doesn't
Yeah.
differentiate, or he doesn't. So that's where this thing comes in, that where we say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Like many people know that it is like India's kind of nowadays. They push that motto out a lot
Mm,
regarding that comes from this fact that Krishna is the source of every living entity. So yeah,
mm.
so that was a very nice point that I
Yeah.
always like to share.
Krishna
Hare Krishna.
himself said it in the Bhagavad Gita. Aham Sarvasya Prabhava. Mm. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Mm. Mata Sarvam Pravartati. Everything comes from me. Then he says, those who are wise and realize that they are always worshiping with their hearts, and engage in devotional service to him. So that's good for all of us. It is wise to serve Krishna. Right.
So Anusha Mataji was asking a question.
Okay.
Uh, in the verse, Srila Prabhupada says that Krishna is the only enjoyer and the real friend of all living entities. If Krishna is our real friend and he is the only enjoyer,
Mm-hmm.
a person can think, then what am I getting out of this relationship? If one person is the only enjoyer and the other person is the only giver.
Krishna says we just talked about. Aham Sarvasya Prabhava. I am the source of the spiritual and material worlds. In other words, without Krishna, the word existence cannot even be used. Everything comes from Krishna. Then what we need to understand is that we are not at his level. But that being said, Krishna says that he's a benefactor, the supreme enjoyer. We are also given a chance to enjoy, but at a lower level than him. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the purport of the very first text, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 1, Srila Prabhupada describes this. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. We are subordinate enjoyers. Now, here's the reason. For an analogy, like somebody who is a very rich person, mm, everything is high class for him. And we are his servants. Where do we live? In a hut? Of course not. We live in the palace where he's at. We got a place there. When he eats, and so many plates, different types of preparations are given to him, he can't eat the whole thing. He cannot eat the whole thing. So what happens? He takes some of it. Ah, who gets the rest? The servant. So actually, we are subordinate enjoyers. We are subordinate to him, but we are enjoying what he's getting, living in the same area that he's at. Hmm? Now, on top of that, he also relates to us one on one. He actually relates to us one on one. And therefore, he may be the supreme enjoyer, hmm, but we also, just in serving him, have so many perks that we get. And that is a situation. And that's a situation that hopefully we'll be comfortable with because that's what we were going against. We wanted Krishna's position. And that's how we wound up in the material world in the first place. Hmm? So much is provided. So much is provided. The average living entity in the spiritual world has so much more wealth than anybody can imagine in the material world, accessible to them in the spiritual world. Even though we are given the title of servants, but Krishna has so much available, and he makes it available for everybody. The trees are desired trees. Do you need Krishna's permission to go take something from the desired tree? Of course not. You can have it. So the service is actually an enjoyment. An enjoyment. When the devotees, the gopis, we say this last point, when the gopis are dancing with Krishna, they are serving Krishna. But dance is dance, isn't it? And they enjoying. When we dance, don't we enjoy? When we eat prasadam, don't we enjoy? It's all part of the service. It's all part of the service. Therefore, he may be the supreme enjoyer. And sometimes we talk about the only enjoyer because everything is done for him, not for us. It's for him. Therefore, he's in that category of receiving, and everybody else is doing. But as we do, we also enjoy. As you will find out half an hour from now in the basement, we will be having prasadam. Krishna enjoyed it first. He's already had it. Hmm? But we take the remnants, and the remnants are wonderful. So we never get taken off. Like, don't think that it's only Krishna and we don't get anything. No, by serving him, we get the same perks as he gets. Hmm? That's the understanding we have to have. Therefore, we would never be envious and try to get to Krishna's position. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you again. Hare Krishna. So we will have Arti. No, Guru Puja first, and then Arti. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Bando Mui Savadana Mati Bando Mui Savadana Mati Gahara Prasade Vai Ibavaturiya Jai Krishna Prapti Hoja Hoti Krishna Prapti Hoja Hoti Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Shitete Koriya Kya Arana Kori Homane Asa Arana Kori Homane Asa Shri Guru Charane Rati Ese Utama Gati Je Prashade Pore Sarva Asha Je Prashade Pore Salva Asha Chakodan Dilo Je Janme Janme Prabhu Se Chakodan Dilo Je Janme Janme Prabhu Se Deve Gyan Hriday Prokasito. Deve Gyan Hriday Prokasito. Prema Bhakti Jaha Hoite Avidya Vinasha Jate. Prema Bhakti Jaha Hoite Avidya Vinasha Jate. Vede Jai Jahara Charito. Vede Jai Jahara Charito. Sri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu. Sri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu. Lokana Lokera Jivana. Lokana Lokera Jivana. Ha Prabhu Korodoya Deho More Pada Chaya. Ha Prabhu Korodoya Deho More Pada Chaya. Deve Jasiku Shukti Bhuvana. Deve Jasiku Shukti Bhuvana. Srila Prabhupada Patijapavana. Srila Gurudev Patijapavana. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Go Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Go Bhakta Vrinda. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jaya Go Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Go Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Go Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Go Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody, little louder, little louder. Hare-o. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vivo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Oh. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Vivo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Nitai Gora Chandra Nitai Gora Chandra Gora Hari. Jaya Nitai Gora Chandra Nitai Gora Chandra Gora Hari. Jaya Jagana, Jaya Jagana, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Jagannath, Jagannath, Jaya Balade, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Abana Gaurani. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo. Go Premanande. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhansa Privajikacharya Stotra Satsisi Maharaj Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhansa Privajikacharya Stotra Satsisi Maharaj Divine Grace. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnavind Ki. Nama Acharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा धाम की नवद्वीप धाम की जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जगन्नाथ स्वामी की गंगा माई की जमुना माई की तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की सामवेद भक्तबिंद की निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. It's the best time. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Paladaraini. Praladaraini. Hiranyakashipu Bhaksha. Hiranyakashipu Bhaksha. Silatankanakanaye. Silatankanakanaye. Ito nesingo parato nesingo. Yato yato yami tato nesingo. Yato yato yami tato nesingo. Vakhe nesingo ridaye nesingo. Narasingamadim Sharanam Papadi. Narasingamadim Sharanam Papadi. Tava Kara Kamara Vare Nakam Abuta Singa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavarita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagarisha Re Jaya Jagarisha Re Jaya Jagarisha Re. Keshavarita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagarisha Re Jaya Jagarisha Re Jaya Jagarisha Re. Jaya Nasingade, 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 Jaya Nasingade. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Haribo. सिंह भगवान की प्रहलाद महाराज की बोल प्रेमानंदी बोल.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaurachandra ki, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki, Jai. Want to welcome devotees for Sunday program. Thank you all so much for coming out. We are approaching the end of 2024. She's happy about it. Are you? It just seems like we just started, the beginning of the year, like just, few days ago. Now it's almost the end of the year. And we have a tradition that every year on New Year's Eve, we have a New Year's Eve program. And it starts at 8 p.m. and it goes on till midnight. And it's going to start this Tuesday, I believe, is New Year's Eve. So we welcome devotees to spread the word around. Please do come out, friends, neighbors, everyone. 8 p.m. we'll start with bhajan and kirtan. There will be prasadam. There will be an hour of celebrations, achievements, appreciation, whatever we have done this past 1 year and what we can expect in the coming year. I was always trained in my spiritual life, and especially by Prabhupada. Prabhupada used to teach his disciples, and then they taught us that we cannot stay stagnant in Krishna consciousness. We have to grow. Because either we stay stagnant and it's just like a plateau, or we slide back like a landslide. We have to go up. So every year we have to challenge ourselves in our spiritual life. What can we do more? What should we do more? What did we not do that we should be doing next year? And really challenge our lives. That is the whole essence of Krishna consciousness. We do it a lot in our material lives, but we don't do it that much that we should in our spiritual lives. And what better way? I was just reading the different, and I like to understand how people think, how the world thinks. And sometimes in different culture around the world, there are certain foods that they eat on New Year's or New Year's Eve to bring good luck. I don't know how many of you know, but in Southern America, like if you go down south, North Carolina, all the way down to Florida, they tend to eat a lot of green, spinach, whatever is green. The why? Because the green represents the green dollar bill. So when they eat a lot of greens, whether it be kale, collard, spinach, mustard greens, or whatever, they'll think that the whole of year they'll get more money. It doesn't grow on trees. We have to work for it, A few things like that. So I was reading, like in some part in Europe, they have biscuits that's made out of coins. Same aspect. So if they eat a lot of those biscuit coins, they'll get rich in the next year. And I thought that was very interesting how different cultures have different beliefs and understanding of what it's, how to prosper materially. But they never speak about how to prosper spiritually. If we read in all the cultures, every culture in the world has that. It's not only America, it's not only India. Every culture has that. But in all these cultures, they never tell us what should we eat to become more Krishna conscious. It's always what should we eat to become more materially prosperous, wealthy, and this, but never how to come closer to God. So in Krishna consciousness, what we do in ISKCON is we start the New Year's with midnight arati in this temple on New Year's Eve. Because when we see the deities at the strike of 12 on New Year's Eve, you better believe it that you're going to be seeing the Lord every day for the next whole of 2025. That's what we want to do. So we welcome all of you. If the desire is to see the Lord more than we did in 2024 or 2023 or 1985, it doesn't matter. Join us on New Year's Eve so that we can all start the New Year's Eve on the right mental status, as they say, on a right mental note, so that we can see the Lord strike 12 at midnight. How many of you were here last year for New Year's Eve? Wasn't it beautiful? You open the altar, the lights are off, and you just have all the light just shining on the Lord. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful way to start the New Year's. Very, very, very sweet, very solemn, very promising, and very intimate. So we welcome all of you. Please share the news with all your friends and family to join us on New Year's Eve so that we can start the new year on the right note by seeing the Lord at strike 12. And sometimes we will say, yeah, I have to go to bed. I'll come back on New Year's Day and I'll wake up and I'll see the Lord. Excuses starts happening. It never happens. I've seen it happen. I've heard it happen. Because materially, it'll take over the Krishna consciousness. Because Maya doesn't want us to come see the Lord. She's going to test us a lot. So we have to fight. Balabhadra Prabhu, proper disciple, he used to always give in his class, he'll make the statement, Saying yes to Krishna is declaring war with Maya. Very powerful statement. So whenever we say yes to Krishna, Maya's going to say, "You're really sure?" It's going to be war. You and me. You want to see the Lord? So without any excuses, rather than waiting till New Year's Day, noon offering, noon arti, or, I'll come on New Year's Day at 6:30 in the evening. Believe me, there's going to be excuses. Join us on New Year's Eve. And what better way with the devotees than anything else? Prabhupada always said sadhu sangha. That's the mood of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, is Sankirtan Yagna, that we do it congregational chanting. So do spread the word around. Please join us on New Year's Eve so that we can really welcome 2024 collectively together with the Lord. And starting January 1st, 12 o'clock, 12:01, just by going to bed thinking, wow, I just saw the Lord at midnight. I can really sleep well because I'm going to think of the Lord for the next whole of 2025. So we welcome all of you. And again, do spread the word around. A few other announcements. We want to remind devotees, and we just realized that that was not known, but there is Mahaprasadam on, sweets on, that's been sold at the gift shop. So if you would like to get some Mahaprasad that's being sold at the gift shop, please do stop by right now. We invite devotees to join the japa call. We have so many devotees chanting, but we are not making time to chant it, even if it's like 10 minutes from 5:30, 5 o'clock till 7:30. So you can hop on anytime. If you want to do 1 round together, 2 rounds together, 3 rounds, 5 rounds, hop on. It is really nice. When we chant it together, it's very, very, very powerful. So please do join us for that. We want to also remind devotees, January 12th, Sunday program, we have His Holiness Bhakti Vasudev Maharaj that's going to be here. So please do join us. He's coming. He's going to be here for about 5 to 6 days, but he will definitely be giving few programs. One in Reading, one over here, and hopefully one at Penn State. So we're trying to arrange few of the dates. So please do block your date for January 12th. We will have His Holiness Bhakti Vasudev Maharaj. And last but not the least, we would like to request, dear boys, if we have a week cleaning team today. So if anyone can stay a little longer, extra half an hour would be great to help clean up. That would be awesome. And I will pass the mic to Jit Mitra if you can do the prasadam prayers.
Mahaprasade Govinde, Mahaprasade Govind. Namo Brahmani Vaishnave, Namo Brahmani Vaishnave. Salpa Punya Vatam Rajan, Vishas Naiva Jayate, Sarira Vidyajal, Jarendriha Tahe Kal, Jive Phale Visay Sagare, Tara Madhye Jivayati, Lava Maya Sudharmati, Take Katim Samsare, Krishna Bara Doyamay, Kori Vare Jiva Jai, Sa Prasadan Dilo Bhai, Te Annamrita Pao, Radha Krishna Gunagao, Preme Rakosi Chaitanya Nitai, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Jai Sri Radhe. Yeah. Jai Jai Sri Radhe. Yeah. Jai Jai Sri Radhe. Yeah. Hari Bol. Please have darshan of the deities. Charnamrit is served on the right side, and prasadam is served downstairs. Hari Bol.